Switzerland. A land of mountains and valleys, lakes and glaciers, crossroads and frontiers. Today, we know it as a neutral, prosperous, and multilingual nation. But its history is far older and far more complex. To understand modern Switzerland, we must travel back in time. From the legacies of the Roman Empire, through the turbulent Middle Ages, the rise of the Swiss Confederacy, the era of Reformation and Enlightenment, to the birth of a modern federal state in the 19th century. Roman Switzerland, the first foundations. The story begins over 2,000 years ago. In 15 BCE, Roman legions advanced into the Alpine region, integrating these territories into the empire. Settlements such as Aventicum, today's Avenches, and Augusta Raurica near Basel became thriving centers of commerce, administration, and culture. Roman engineering transformed the landscape. Road networks linked the north and the south, allowing the movement of goods, armies, and ideas. Temples, theaters, and baths testified to a new way of life. And yet, rural communities maintained many of their Celtic traditions, living in a cultural fusion of Roman order and local custom. The fall of Rome in the 5th century did not erase this heritage. Instead, it left behind ruins, roads, and a Latin legacy that would continue to shape Switzerland's linguistic and cultural identity. The Middle Ages, feudalism and faith. With Rome gone, new powers emerged. Germanic tribes settled the land. The Franks, under Charlemagne, integrated the region into the Carolingian Empire. By the 9th century, monasteries, such as St. Gallen, became centers of learning, faith, and art. Their illuminated manuscripts and sacred music preserved knowledge. During what Europeans often call the Dark Ages, feudalism spread. Castles rose on hilltops, and local lords controlled valleys and trade routes. Switzerland's geography made it a prize. It was a bridge between northern and southern Europe. Merchants and pilgrims crossed its passes, bringing both prosperity and conflict. The birth of the Confederacy. The turning point came in the late Middle Ages. In 1291, 3 Alpine communities, Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden, swore a mutual pact of defense. This oath, taken on the shores of Lake Lucerne, is remembered as the founding moment of the Swiss Confederacy. These alliances were not driven by nationalism, but by a desire to secure freedom from powerful neighbors, especially the Habsburg dynasty. The legendary victory at Morgarten in 1315, and later at Sempach in 1386, cemented the reputation of Swiss infantry as fierce and disciplined. By the 15th century, the Confederacy had expanded to include new regions. It was not yet a unified nation, but a loose network of self-governing states, bound by mutual interest. The Renaissance and the Reformation. The 16th century brought new challenges. The Renaissance stimulated trade, scholarship, and the arts. Swiss mercenaries served across Europe, bringing both wealth and controversy. Then came the Protestant Reformation. In Zurich, the preacher Huldrych Zwingli challenged the authority of Rome. In Geneva, John Calvin created a rigorous Protestant community that would influence Christianity worldwide. Switzerland fractured along religious lines. Wars of religion divided Catholic and Protestant cantons. Yet, despite conflict, the Confederacy survived, its political flexibility preventing collapse. Early modern Switzerland, neutrality and identity. The 17th century was an age of war in Europe, but Switzerland remained largely untouched by the devastation of the 30 Years' War. In 1648, The Treaty of Westphalia formally recognized Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire. Neutrality, firstborn of necessity, slowly became a defining principle. Switzerland was too diverse, too fragmented, to project power outward. Instead, it learned to survive by staying apart. During this period, Swiss artisans, bankers, and scientists flourished. Clockmaking developed in Geneva. Universities and academies nurtured Enlightenment thought. And cities such as Basel and Zurich became hubs of printing and publishing. Revolution and Confederation. The French Revolution of 1789 shook all of Europe. In 1798, Napoleon's armies invaded Switzerland, imposing the centralized Helvetic Republic. But the experiment failed. Local traditions and fierce independence clashed with French ideals. After Napoleon's defeat, the Congress of Vienna in 1815 re-established Switzerland's independence, guaranteed its neutrality, and fixed its borders, much as we know them today. Yet political tensions remained. In 1847, a brief civil war, the Sonderbund War, pitched Catholic conservative cantons against liberal Protestant ones. The liberals triumphed, and in 1848, Switzerland adopted a new federal constitution. This was the true birth of modern Switzerland, a democratic confederation with strong cantonal autonomy, a balance between unity and diversity, and institutions that endure to this day. From industrialization to modern nationhood, the 19th and 20th centuries transformed Switzerland. Railways pierced the Alps, connecting once isolated valleys to the wider world. Industry grew in textiles, machinery, and of course, precision instruments. Switzerland remained neutral during both world wars, but mobilized its army for defense. Its humanitarian tradition strengthened, with the International Committee of the Red Cross, founded in Geneva in 1863, becoming a symbol of compassion in times of conflict. After 1945, Switzerland prospered. Its multilingual identity, direct democracy, and global financial role shaped the nation we know today. Conclusion: continuity and change. The history of Switzerland is a story of paradox. A small land, yet strategically vital. Deeply divided in language and faith, yet united in resilience. Never an empire, yet rich in culture, innovation, and tradition. From the stones of Roman amphitheaters to the medieval oath of the Confederates, from Reformation sermons to modern neutrality, Switzerland's journey is a lesson in endurance. It is a land where past and present coexist, where history is not a burden, but a foundation, and where the Alpine peaks, timeless and enduring, remind us of the deep roots of a nation that has always stood at the crossroads of Europe.